welcome to the holiday vlog. Staying in Nice at the AC Marriott Hotel. This is the outside and it is a 4-star, and then this is our bedroom. I just thought I'd do a quick room tour. So as we walk in, unfortunately it doesn't have a balcony, but it's got loads of seating area and you can actually see the sea from where our bedroom was situated. And then we've got like a little coffee station. One thing I would suggest though is to bring a mirror on holiday, because there wasn't really that many places to put your makeup on. You could do it in the bathroom, but the mirror did steam up and there weren't any working plug sockets around the bathroom area. We've got a TV, and then we've just kind of chucked all our suitcases on the side for now, and then this is our bed. And then we move on further up to a full-length mirror. I kind of wish this was in the center of the room though. I didn't like the fact it was on the back of the door. And then we just move on to the bathroom, which has a bath, shower and loads of mirrors, and it's just basically a standard bathroom size. It did come with shampoo, conditioner, shower wash and everything you could possibly need, and they also provided a hairdryer. Moving on to the wardrobe, this had the mini fridge in, which you can get stocked up from everything downstairs in reception, and it also had a safe, iron and ironing board, as well as a couple of hangers. And this is just an overview of the room as a whole, and the aircon was always on, so it always meant you'd get back to a really cool bedroom. But the main reason we stayed here was because the rooftop pool was so amazing and the views from up there were incredible. This is my outfit of the day. I'm wearing this shirt from Zara and my skirt is from ASOS. We've just got the train to Monaco, and today I'm going to show you around Monaco and what we end up doing. This was the first time I'd ever visited the south of France, so it was really nice to look around Monaco. I would definitely suggest to get the train. So the train from Nice to Monaco was €23.60 for both of us, and that was for a return as well. Now for the exploring side, as we're both huge F1 fans, we went straight to the hairpin bend outside of the Fairmont Hotel. So it's known as the Fairmont Hairpin. It was just really good to see that part of the track, and then we also saw the tunnel as well. But outside of the Fairmont they had so many insane cars, so it was just good to have a look around and see what cars were about. We actually loved Monaco so much that we came back later on in the week to go to the casino, and outside the casino in the evening they had so many more different cars to look at, and it was just absolutely insane. So if you like looking at different kind of cars, then I would definitely recommend going to Monaco in the evening. We then went into the Monte Carlo Casino just to see what it's like, and I would definitely recommend doing this. However, it is very busy during the day. When we came in the evening it wasn't as busy, but it's really good just to kind of see what it's like. This was just the reception area bit, which you could get in without paying, but the attention to detail of the whole place was absolutely incredible. We then went to Café de Paris, which is outside the casino and opposite Hotel de Paris. Tom got a beer, which was the Monte Carlo beer from the yachting club, but it was really nice just to chill out here. Again, this was another hot spot for really cool cars. When we went, they had the 3-day Longines Global Championship tour on in Monaco, and this was the view as we were walking up to see the Prince's Palace, and I've never seen horses jump so high in my whole life. The video isn't even doing this justice on how tall these jumps are, but it was incredible to see, even briefly, just as we were walking up to the Prince's Palace, and then you've got all the yachts in the background. There were quite a few steps to get up to the top of the Prince's Palace, but the view from the top was definitely worth doing this. You can get a tour of the Prince's Palace, and you can also get a tour of his car collection. His car collection was absolutely incredible, and this was €10 to look around. He had Formula 1 cars, all different types of rallying cars. His car collection spun across 2 different floor levels, and there were some really old style cars, newer cars, and they also had new technology which they were going to implement on Mars as well. And he also had Ayrton Senna's watch and helmet that he wore for the Formula 1. At the end of the collection there is a souvenir shop which Tom picked up a mug, and then we headed back to Nice on the train. So I've just got ready to go out to Nice for an evening meal. We haven't eaten anything today because we were in Monaco and we were just walking everywhere to get everything done, that we didn't actually end up eating anywhere, and it was just too hot to eat as well. So I recommend if you go to Monaco, get the hop on and hop off bus, because we didn't. So that's my top tip if you're going to Monaco, because yeah, walking uphill is not great. We stopped off at Le farfalle for dinner, and I had the margarita pizza, which was €13.50, and then Tom had a pasta dish, which was the macaroni della mamma, which was €18. The portion sizes were huge, and there was a massive queue outside to get into this restaurant because people loved it that much. And this was us defeated at the end. We literally just couldn't manage it all. We've just been out for food and we literally have overeaten. The amount of food that they give you at the place that we've just been is insane. So Tom literally has my pizza ready for tomorrow because we're going to have it for breakfast. I think tomorrow is going to be pool day, and then we're going to go and watch the Formula 1 in the Irish pub bar called Manolans. We've had a morning at the pool and now we're off out to watch the Formula 1 at Manolans, and hopefully it's going to be good, and hopefully the Formula 1's also interesting to watch. I don't know why the camera quality is so bad, but this is us at Manolans bar. We watched the Silverstone Formula 1 and I got a club sandwich baguette for lunch and Tom got a chicken burger. Just finished watching the Formula 1 and it was literally so good. I've also bought some new shoes which I need to show you. Basically we've done so much walking and my shoes were dunks and they're a little bit too flat, so I've just bought some New Balance trainers, but they were on sale, so it's all good and it all worked out in the end. We're just going to go back to the hotel and have some drinks on the rooftop bar, and they've also got live music there as well. Even if you're not staying at the hotel, you can still come to the rooftop bar. This is the menu and I got the Fregaluso cocktail and this was €16. As I previously mentioned, you can see the sea from the rooftop and it is just so peaceful and you get a really good sunset if you come on a good day. Unfortunately, it was a little bit overcast when we came, and they also have someone different performing each night. After we had these drinks, we then decided to go down to the beach and just sit by the sea and just spend the rest of the evening here. The following morning we found a brunch stop which is called La Kiwa, and this was opposite the train station in Nice. I had this French toast because I thought I needed to try it whilst in France, and Tom had an eggs royale with a coffee before we hopped on the train to Cannes, which was so beautiful and I definitely recommend going and visiting, and I definitely go back. And the train from Nice to Cannes was €25 return for the both of us. We've just got the train into Cannes, and literally 2-minute walk away from the train station is the Cannes Film Fest red carpet, which we've just had photos. You literally just queue up at the side and then you can have photos here, which is a good spot to kind of stop in. There's loads of little shops about, and literally in front of me there's Dior, Prada, but if you want less expensive shops, they've literally got all sorts. We're just going to go by the port and have a look around there and just have a look about. As it was so hot, we stopped off at the Giorgio Armani cafe, which was lovely, and we just had a quick drink, so I just had a Coke, and I liked the fact that the straws said Giorgio Armani on them. We then headed to one of the ports because we didn't realise but Cannes had 2 different ports, and it was really nice just to have a look around both of them. And we just walked by the beachfront past all the beach clubs. There were so many different beach clubs to choose from if you wanted to stay at the beach clubs, and then we both stopped off for an ice cream. I had this chocolate one and Tom had a strawberry one, but as you can see it was so hot and needed as these were melting straight away. After looking around Cannes a little bit more, we popped into this beach club called Sea Beach, and the vibes of it was so nice and probably one of the best places we went to. It had music playing and we shared some nachos, but the guacamole was probably the best I've ever had. It also had an outdoor bar area. We then carried on exploring Cannes a little bit more and went to the other port. We then headed back and spent the evening in Nice, and I had this humongous pasta dish and Tom also had another pasta dish. His had salmon in it, which looked so good. And we spent the rest of the evening out in Nice. The The following morning we spent in Nice and we did a bit of shopping, and opposite Zara was Le Grand Café de France, which is where we stopped off. I had a croissant for breakfast and Tom had a coffee, and then I also had a Coke as well. Then in the late evening, when it had cooled down slightly, we walked up Castle Hill in Nice, and the views just showed the whole of Nice from the top, and it was definitely worth going up there if you're able to. It also had this huge waterfall to look at. Just walked to the top of Castle Hill, and there was like a viewing point, and then there's also the waterfall to see, which was really nice. We're just walking back now, but word of advice, don't go with your boyfriend who likes to be 50 feet in front of you and pace it. And also don't wear leather shorts because my legs are literally so warm right now, so this isn't the outfit of choice. Wear comfy clothes. As you can kind of see behind me, the ground is more or less even, so if you are an older person wanting to know whether you could make it up here, the ground is fairly even. How insane is this view though? We then came to Manolens, which is the one in the centre of Nice. There are actually two, and one's near the port, and I had a chicken burger and a strawberry daiquiri. On our walk back to the hotel, we noticed the restaurant next to the West End Hotel had someone singing there, so we popped in there for a drink. We were then up bright and early the next morning for our boat trip to Saint-Tropez. I booked this before we came on holiday just because I didn't want it to get fully booked, and it took 2.5 hours there and 2.5 hours back, and it cost us just over £81 each, and it did 2 stops on the way and on the way back, including Cannes and Saint Marguerite, where it dropped off more people and picked others up as well. Before we arrived at Saint-Tropez at just before 12 p.m, we headed straight to this cafe because we wanted something to drink, but they did have a little bit of an issue with us because we wanted to share something to eat rather than get something eat, which meant we had to move where we were sat to the very back of the cafe. In the end though, we did manage to share some nachos together, and then Tom had a coffee and I had some water, and the water was very expensive here. It was €14 just for a small bottle of water. We then explored Saint-Tropez a little bit more and looked around the artwork stands and around a couple of the shops before we got an Uber ride to the other side of Saint-Tropez where they had all the beach clubs. We've just made it to Club 55, and there's like a lounge area that we're just going to stay in. You can stay here without a reservation, whereas if you need food in the restaurant you actually have to book in. And then there's also a snack bar somewhere, but it's really nice here because you can look out onto all the boats in the sea, and the sand is literally so pale sand, if you know what I mean. So we're just going to stop here, have a couple of drinks and go from there. If you are coming to Saint-Tropez, I would definitely recommend coming to one of the beach clubs. Club 55 was so chilled out and so peaceful, and it was just lovely to be at. Tom got a beer, and then we also got a couple of baguettes from the snack bar, which was around the corner. And this is what I meant by the white sand beach and the crystal clear waters. There were so many yachts about as well, and I could have literally stayed here all day, but we had to head back and get our return boat back to Nice. We've just finished our boat trip from Saint-Tropez, and now we're walking back to our hotel to get ready to go out for the evening. Just put my t-shirt on because I thought I was burning. About half an hour walk back to our hotel, and I've already got blisters, so it's going to be painful. As I couldn't hack walking far, for the evening meal we came to La Villa, which is literally opposite our hotel, and it's one of the beach clubs, and we both had a pizza, and the pizza here was so good. And then we followed it up with a dessert of a chocolate sundae later on in the evening because we saw another table order it and we couldn't resist after seeing theirs. We just got ready to go out to the Monaco Casino, and I'm wearing this green dress from Never Fully Dressed, and Tom's wearing a suit. We've just arrived at Monaco and I'm all dressed up ready to go to the casino, but before we go there we are going to do like a little trip around the racetrack, and Tom is going to drive a car around. That's going to be good, and hopefully I can film that for you guys. We've just finished the evening in Monte Carlo Casino. As you can see behind me, there's literally so many nice cars. I have also had to take my heels off because they were agony after so long wearing them. But it's been such a good evening. We did play a bit of roulette and Tom is now 100 euros up and I'm 5 euros down. But it's still been a great end to the night, and now we're just finding our way back. Maybe it'll be taxi, I don't know. It's now our final morning in Nice, and we came to this ice cream place because I'd walked past it so many times. I couldn't leave Nice without trying it out because I just love all the pink aesthetics of it. It's called Cafe Ballinger, and I got a mint choc chip and a chocolate ice cream to finish off the holiday before we headed to the airport. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time for another video.